Greetings! Salutations. How we all doing? Did everybody make it through the election okay? Oh my god. Freaking so done with that. I went out and voted. I did my thing, but I'm just glad the whole thing's over, to be honest with you. Oh, I did want to show you one thing though. That's right. I got my Christmas tree up. I don't care. I like Christmas. So I got my tree up. But that is not what this video is about. This video is about my ham radio. Now, I did that video showing you my CB and 2-meter ham radio and tell you I was trying to get things set up. Well, I have a little 2-meter HT. This is a Boafeng, what is it, UV-5R, I think it is? I could be wrong about that. No, it is a, yeah, UV-5R. Now, there's different variants of these. This is an older one, but I bought this brand new. I got this for less than 35 bucks, I think, delivered. I bought the extended antenna. The one that comes with it's only about that long. I couldn't get anything to work. I couldn't hit any repeaters. I knew I was programming it right, but it just wasn't working. So I finally got the little, let me grab it here for you, the little USB programming cable and the disc. I finally got this. The software in the disc, useless. But if you download Chirp, C-H-I-R-P, that software and use that to program the thing, it does work. It took me about 45 minutes to get it to work, but you had to reinstall. If you do this, geez, look at that, got a bit of a bald spot going in it there. I guess I got to trim that up better. Good God. You got to install some update software. If you're gonna use the Chirp to program a Boafeng, make sure you watch some YouTube videos and it'll explain it to you. But I finally got that all in there, and then I programmed in 9 channels for the local area. Now, out of those 9, I'm not hitting all those repeaters. There's some that are 2-meter and 70 centimeters. I got 2 local 2-meter repeaters that I can now hit, and I've got one 70 centimeter one that I can hit. So I'm hitting 3 from my room now, which is amazing. Before I could barely hit 1. I don't know what the software made a difference for. I programmed them in the right way, but the software makes it so much easier. It actually, if you go in the software and you watch some of the videos, you can actually download the frequencies for your area right into it. So you don't even have to know what they are for your area. And the good thing is if you move around, you can always change them. So I got those in there, and I can now hit 3 repeaters from my room. So now my goal is to get a stealth 2-meter antenna that I can either string up here in the room or maybe outside when I put the antenna up for the CB. I have not put the antenna up for the CB yet. I still got to do that. I still have the antenna. I just need the 20 feet of pole and the mounts for it, but money's tight. So anyway, oh, and by the way, that programming cable and CD for the Boafeng, if you want one, they're like $6 delivered free. So they're pretty cheap. But anyway, so now I got that. So now I can hit 3. So last night I talked to a guy that I know on Facebook who's like 2 towns over, and he's been trying to get me to get it to work, and I finally got it all figured out, got it programmed in, and I actually chatted for the first time on a 2-meter repeater in probably 8, maybe 9 years since I've been on ham radio. It's been a long time. So that was cool. And then one of the 70 centimeter one that I actually got programmed in, I could hit outside, but I couldn't hit it in the room at first. But I knew there was going to be a net on there at 8:30, so I turned on my radio, and last night in this room I could hear it. I'm like, wow. So I listened to the net. I haven't listened to a ham radio net in probably 12 years. So that was kind of cool, a lot of people checking in. But I didn't think I could hit the repeater from the room, so I waited till net was over, probably another 30 minutes after that, make sure there wasn't anybody lingering and stuff, and I keyed up my microphone, and sure enough, I can hit that repeater from in here. So I can hit 3 repeaters from my room, which is amazing to me. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And in case you're wondering, yes, I still use the speaker microphone, which plugs into my handheld. The microphone on the HTs, on just about every HTs, even the Yaesus, ICOMs stuff, usually isn't that good. You usually want to get an external, microphone speaker, because you can also clip it on your shirt, and then you just key up and talk, and the speaker's right here. And some of them even have a headphone jack, so you can put an earpiece in if you want. But you really want one of these with an HT. So I got that all done, and I'm very pleased. So for the first time, close up. For the first time in a long time, I got to do some ham radio. It was nice. I'm not even gonna lie. So hopefully I can come up with something. You could do a dipole, but I really don't want to put something outside because that's another coax you got to bring in. I'd really like to find something I could string up in my room, because if I can hit 3 of those, I'm sure a good antenna inside the house would probably hit a couple more. And I'm hitting 2 of the closest ones that I wanted to hit anyway, so I'm just trying to get a few more 2 meters. Plus, I'd like to be able to talk to somebody on simplex, which is, for those of you who don't know, simplex is when you talk to each other just like a handheld CB radio, instead of having to hit a repeater, which helps because you can go a lot farther. You talk back and forth. Well, there's some simplex frequency locally, but in order to do that, I really need a better antenna. So I got to come up with some kind of stealthy 2-meter antenna / 70 centimeters would be nice. Usually you get an antenna that'll do both frequencies anyway, to put up in here, and I don't really want to do it outside because as it is, I got to put that antenna up for the 11-meter band, and I got to drill 1 hole through it. So I don't really want to drill a lot of holes through the wall, you know what I mean? So hopefully I can come up with something like that. But I wanted to make a video because I got some people who are ham operators who follow me, and they've been asking about this. And yes, I now have 3 repeaters I can hit. By the way, this Boafeng, they've updated this now. This is an older, I think it's like a 2012, 2013 model, but I bought it brand new. They update these all the time, but the thing is, because the firmware is set on these, they're not allowed to. You can't update the firmware on the radio, which kind of sucks. But they're so cheap, it doesn't matter. Like there's been like 6 firmware updates, so there's 6 different models after this, but they all are the UV-5 whatever after it. There's a whole bunch of them, and they all look pretty similar. Some have a chrome right here. They've eliminated the what is it? The band button. That button's no longer on the new radio. So, but this thing works great. Worth the money. It comes with everything you need. But I bought the longer rubber ducky antenna because antenna is where everything is on a radio. Doesn't matter if it's ham, CB, whatever. Your antenna is what's going to decide what you can do. A lot of people put a lot of watts, a lot of power, thousands of watts. Doesn't do any good if your antenna is trash. So always upgrade the antenna first. That's why I want to put an antenna outside, because 11 meters, you really need your antenna outside and up. This one did pretty good, I'm not going to lie. Now that I've got it programmed right, 3 repeaters from this room is pretty impressive. But I know if I put a dipole up, you can get a J-pole, but I'm not a big fan of those. I've had those before. I don't think they work as good. Ideally, a 2-meter antenna up on a mast like my CB antenna would be perfect, but I can't do that because of the park. The CB antenna, the only way I'm getting away with that is because of the pole going up with my little tram no ground antenna. You're not going to see it from the front of the house, so, but I can't have, like, you know, all kinds of antennas off the back of the house. That just isn't going to work, so I do have to do something inside. But I'm very pleased. I now have a net I can listen to. The net is every night from 8 to 8:30, I think it is. It's an Eagle net. Those who are ham operators will know what that is. So I'm kind of excited about that, plus the 2-meter frequencies and hopefully some simplex, so maybe I'll be back into the radio game. It's been a long time. I've missed, especially ham radio is my favorite. Though I like CB. My favorite band though is 10 meters, which is the band above CB. That's my all-time favorite. But I'll eventually get back into that. But at least I got the 2 meter 70 centimeters. Plus this one does FM, like regular FM radio stations. And I can also get the weather on it. You can also program in FRS, what is it, GRMS, I think it is. MERS, those can go into it. I haven't done any of that yet. I don't think there's a real lot of use for that around here. But so there is some other frequencies you can put into it. So it's a good little radio. And for the price, you can't beat it. I mean, you know, you can spend a couple $100 on an ICOM or a Kenwood. And yeah, they'll have some better features and probably work a little bit better. But for like 35 bucks, come on, that's cheap enough. And I've got, you slide the battery pack off. I got an adapter that slides on that plugs into the lighter, so you can run it in your car and you don't have to worry about the batteries going low. I do have a small magnet mount, which, yeah, about the same size as my rubber ducky antenna. It's a small magnet. Really didn't make a difference. I put it on the car last night and tried. Not making a big difference. This is good for an emergency use, or if I had like a nice, big, heavy, like chest or wardrobe that was all metal and stuck this on top of that, or a refrigerator, that would really work pretty good, but I don't have anything like that. But this was cheap enough, and you know, it's better than nothing. Especially if you're in the car, put it on the outside, you're going to do better going up and down the road and the hills and stuff anyway. But so I got that, but that's not going to suit my needs for working in the house. It just doesn't do what I need it to. So there you go, little radio update. As you can see, I've gone back to a goatee. The fiance was not a big fan of the beard, and to be honest with you, it wasn't looking the way I wanted it to. So there you go. It is what it is. Hopefully you're all doing well. I appreciate you guys watching this. Sorry this went on for, oh my, almost 10.5 minutes. I guess I had a lot more to say than I thought. Alright, I'll see you beautiful people in the next video.